Okay, thank you so much once again for giving us the opportunity to come and be part of this session on online abuse, but also online digital financing. Just to ask you a question, if you're given an opportunity to select an investor or investors, which kind of investors or companies would you select for the coalition? And out of those ones, can you choose the top three that you would wish to call upon to support the coalition?
Of course, thank you. Well, I think it would be really, first of all, thank you for being part of this. And I think that the Safe Digital Futures Coalition, Invest in Children, is a really important step in aligning investments globally for this priority. I would say I'm not going to call out anybody specific in terms of the donors or investors we would want to have, but I would make a cocktail of like 3 ingredients for this coalition to be successful. And that cocktail looks like governments, having few governments step forward and say, we recognize this issue not only as a national priority, but as an international priority. So we're going to make sure that the funding is going to be available globally for organizations, innovations, and the risks that we need to take to make sure that child online safety is put at the center of the political and global agendas. Then we would want to have an industry company, an industry member, a tech company, a platform that comes forward and says, we take responsibility and accountability for the things that we as industry are bringing to this world, for the, the good and the bad that we are causing to kids. So we will come forward and also make sure that this funding is available to people and organizations that are needed for us to be able to actually make the change and make positive experiences for kids. Yeah. And the third one is always, I think, the most important ingredient, and is the one that really takes the risk. So far, it has been philanthropy. So having a few philanthropic organizations who will come, or high net worth individuals who will de-risk a lot of the risks that we need to take to be innovative, to take the step forward around understanding the frontier technologies, how they're impacting children, and what are they actually doing to make sure that well-being to the center, not only harm reduction, not only safety, but also well-being of kids in the digital age. So, I do want to ask you maybe also as well, as old people, we don't always know what kids are experiencing online. So what are the apps that you think you're using that we have no idea about? Is there any app that is really exciting you lately that you want to share with people?
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, I'm going to share with you some of the apps that have too much abuse, according to the research that we made. One of the apps with the highest form of online abuse was Facebook. So on Facebook, in most cases, children are abused by people who come in form of hoits, like requesting for a relationship. In the long run, they request for naked photos, and then we have TikTok. Children have been body shamed, children have been used in different ways, like cyber stalking, and you find even if they report, nothing happens. And then we have WhatsApp. It also has different forms of abuse that happen, but key to it is that children don't know where to report from, because we've tried out using the feedback mechanisms that are on the apps, but you find you report the abuse and it will take years without you getting the feedback. And when you come to the security agencies that we have, for example, police at lower level, they don't have even a budget to address such. They're not even informed on how they can address issues of online cyber security, like abuse. They're only looking at robbery. They're looking at other forms of like crimes, not considering this as a crime too. So that's what I would answer to that question.
Thank you for that.
And maybe to answer the same, I think for me it's I love using TikTok. When I'm bored at home, I doom scroll TikTok a lot, but sometimes you find the TikTok lives are not regulated, and then like you just scroll and you find a live and you click and you start watching, and I think that's a platform that needs a lot of regulation, because also children are there. It's very exciting, it's short minutes and very fun. But over and above that, I'd say congratulations on the launch of the coalition, and I really love the conversations that were going on in the room. For me, the highlight was seeing governments actually come and wanting to address this good opportunity that you have online, but also which has threats to it. And for me, maybe my question to you is, what was your major highlight of today?
I would say that what came out really clearly, maybe you let me know whether you think the same, is that child online safety was not only seen as an isolated issue, but as a precondition for so many other things that young people are demanding. For better education, for skills for the future, for participation, for connection, for belonging. Because the online world is such a big portion of what kids experience, where they experience their daily lives. So if those spaces are not enabled for inclusion, for participation, for safety, you will not see the future generations being enabled to thrive, but also bring prosperity to their societies. So that recognition that safety is not a side project, it is really critical for all other things that are important for the societies in development, was really one of the highlights of this event, I think.
Yeah, thank you. Also to add on that, I think when you're touching about online safety is, especially in our continent in Africa, we've been playing catch up over the years.
Yeah.
But I think the conversation is timely as tech grows, because you're also acknowledging in our continent there's the digital divide. And so as tech grows, we also have the safeguards, for lack of a better word, to protect ourselves. And maybe my last question, my final question to you is, we've had good conversations in the room, and you've given us the cocktail of investors or partners we'd want to work with. Maybe what's that one message you can send out to partners?
To all of the partners, I would say make child online safety a shared global investment priority, because that's how you invest in children's futures and their present lives, actually. I think I'm a little bit tired of saying futures, because kids demand and need safety right now. So I would say come be part of this coalition.
Thank you.